What NBA shot has ever been the best by itself? Not as iconic as Michael Jordan's fadeaway, Dirk Nowitzki's one-legger, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's skyhook. But since the National Basketball Association was founded in 1946, which scoring basket stands out as the most memorable? In the NBA, more than 5 million shots have been taken, and numerous factors such as shot difficulty, relevancy, amazement, and importance contribute to a shot's memorability. A decisive shot during the postseason is more significant than one during the regular season. The biggest leaves an imprint. Watch them all the way through to the very end. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. These are the most amazing and unusual shots in NBA history. 1. The ankle breaker by James Harden. Date February 28, 2018. Match Los Angeles Clippers versus Houston Rockets. It's always terrifying to have your ankle shattered in the middle of an NBA game. Wesley Johnson's experience, however, might have necessitated that he seek treatment afterwards. To the cheers of the crowd, Johnson was knocked to the ground by James Harden's crossover, at which point Harden glared at Johnson, swirled the ball, licked his lips, and swished the three-pointer. A second Clippers defender went over to try to block Harden's shot because Johnson had been on the ground for such a lengthy time. The video has evolved into one of the all-time most meme-worthy ones in today's social media age. 2. In 0.4 seconds, Derek Fisher spurns the Spurs. Date 13th of May 2004. Match San Antonio Spurs versus Los Angeles Lakers. Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Karl Malone, and Gary Payton made up the super team of the 2004 Lakers, which featured 4 future Hall of Famers. However, Derek Fisher made the shot that won the game. With 0.4 seconds remaining, Tim Duncan gave the Spurs the lead, and it appeared as though San Antonio would take a 3-2 series lead. But in just 0.4 seconds, Fisher was able to collect an inbounds pass, turn around, and shoot a jump shot. Nothing but net came out of it in the end. Fisher later said that he wasn't sure if he got it off in time and left before it could be reviewed. Fisher and the Lakers sprinted off the court and into the locker room. In the 2004 playoffs, the shot stood alone as the lone buzzer-beating game winner. 3. Reaching the peak of insanity. Date February 14, 2012. Match Toronto Raptors versus New York Knicks. In 2012, Jeremy Lin was an overnight sensation who gradually lost steam over the ensuing years. Just 3 weeks prior to this game, his 5th in the NBA as a starter, he was still playing in the G League. Coach Mike D'Antoni asked his inexperienced point guard to make the game-winning shot against a squad that included veterans like Amari Stoudemire and Mike Bibby. D'Antoni mentioned for an isolation as Lin had the ball at midcourt, and Linsanity got to work. He patiently made 4 dribbles before releasing a three-pointer and goosenecking the follow-through. However, this game and this shot were the pinnacle of Linsanity. There would be more high-scoring games and highlights throughout his spectacular run. 4. The stare, the shot, and the wave. Date 23rd of April 2019. Match Oklahoma City Thunder versus Portland Trail Blazers. Despite Paul George's claim that Damian Lillard's game-winning shot was a poor attempt, any player will take a poor attempt that succeeds over a good attempt that fails. Only 2 buzzer beaters have been used to win a series in the past 20 years, and both came from Lillard in 2014. Lillard understood that a shot would either end the series or force overtime as he was paired up against first-team all-defense player George. No one was expecting Lillard to shoot one from about 40 feet, so George was playing off to stop him. But Lillard ascended from 37 feet away with 2 seconds left and brought the shot down. After waving goodbye to the Thunder bench, he was surrounded by his teammates. Lillard provided one of the most memorable meme-worthy faces in recent memory as he displayed no emotion throughout the celebration as the entire city of Portland was going bonkers. 5. John Paxson secures a triple-peat. Date 20th of June 1993. Match Phoenix Suns versus Chicago Bulls. Sometimes a defensive blunder contributes just as much to a memorable play as the offense's execution. The Suns were instructed by their coach not to double-team anyone, including Michael Jordan, who got the inbounds pass since the Bulls were down by 2 with 14 seconds remaining and dribbling up the length of the court. Danny Ainge failed to get that memo and attempted to double Scottie Pippen as he drove to the basket as Michael Jordan and Larry Bird broke the full-court press. Following Pippen's pass to Grant, who was cutting in the direction of the basket, Ainge went over to Grant. John Paxson, Ainge's man all along, was wide open behind the arc when Grant quickly passed it back to him. As Dan Marley of the Suns immediately assumed the surrender covert posture once the ball left his hands, and as Jordan had prophesied, the game was all but over. Liking the video so far? Then do like, share, and subscribe without forgetting. 6. Allen Houston surprises number 1 with a buzzer beater. Date, May 16, 1999. Match, New York Knicks versus Miami Heat. The 1998-99 season was compressed due to a lockout, and the playoff teams were clustered together as a result. Just 6 victories separated the number 1 seed Miami Heat from the number 8 seed New York Knicks, and those two teams squared off in the opening round. Over the first 4 games, they traded victories, and with 4.5 seconds left in Game 5, Miami had a 1-point advantage. At the top of the key, Allen Houston received an inbounds pass. He took one dribble to split 2 defenders before launching a running 1-footer from the free throw line. With 0.8 seconds left, the ball hit the front rim, rebounded off the backboard, and fell into the hoop. The Miami fans gasped as their team lost to a number 8 seed, only the second time this has happened against a number 1 seed. 7. Jordan brushes the Blazers off. Date, June 3, 1992. Match, Portland Trail Blazers versus Chicago Bulls. Early in the 1990s, the three-point shot was still a novelty, and the Bulls had 15 games in the regular season of 1991-92 in which they failed to make a single three-point attempt. All season, Michael Jordan made just 27, or approximately 1 per 3 games. But when Jordan made 6 three-pointers in the first half of Game 1 of the NBA Finals, the floodgates suddenly opened. After the 6, Jordan sprinted down the court and gave his signature shrug, acting as if he couldn't believe what was happening. Both Jordan's 35 first-half points and the 6 three-pointers made in the first half were NBA Finals records at the time. 8. Kareem is the all-time scoring king because of his patented skyhook. Date, the 5th of April, 1984. Match, Utah Jazz versus Los Angeles Lakers. Wilt Chamberlain held the top spot on the all-time scoring list for 11 years before Kareem Abdul-Jabbar broke it with one of his numerous skyhooks. It had to be especially satisfying for Chamberlain to surpass Wilt's record because he and Abdul-Jabbar had had a wonderful mentor-mentee relationship that deteriorated once they became rivals in the NBA. This game was played in Las Vegas, of all places, because the Jazz, the opponent, played a few home games there in the middle of the 1980s. Before Kareem ever touched the ball in the possession that awarded him the record, the pro-Lakers Vegas crowd began booing, and they later gave him a standing ovation. 9. Baby Skyhook for Magic defeats the Celtics. Date, June 9, 1987. Match, Boston Celtics versus Los Angeles Lakers. The host team prevailed in each of the first 3 games of the 1987 Finals. Game 4 appeared to be headed in the same direction, which would have tied the series at 2-2. But NBA MVP Magic Johnson had different plans. The Lakers were down 1 with 7 seconds left, and Magic switched Kevin McHale to guard him. Magic briefly hesitated on the dribble to throw McHale off balance before dribbling into the lane from the left side of the court and trying a 12-foot running hook shot. Robert Parrish and McHale fumbled and attempted to block the shot, but Magic got some wonderful advice from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the master of the skyhook, and the ball effortlessly flew from Magic's fingers into the basket. Magic termed his version of the shot a junior skyhook as a tribute to Abdul-Jabbar. 10. Gar Heard as the Suns' forced triple overtime. Date, June 5, 1976. Match, Boston Celtics versus Phoenix Suns. Due to its back-and-forth nature and 3 additional periods, this NBA game is among the contenders for the title of greatest game ever played. In the second overtime, the Celtics appeared to have won the game with a buzzer beater, but after the crowd invaded the floor and the players retired to the locker room, it was decided that there was still time left on the clock when the basket was made. Gar Heard had just enough time to execute a turnaround jump shot at the top of the key. The Celtics finally won in overtime and then went on to win the title by winning Game 7. So the attempt was for nothing. And that's all for this video. Let us know in the comments below if you liked it. To know more about the 10 strangest men's haircuts, tap on the video on the screen. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Bye!